As we journey through life with our loved ones, we often focus on the big moments: birthdays, graduations, weddings, and anniversaries. But sometimes, it's the smallest changes, the quietest shifts, that carry the deepest meaning. If someone you care about has begun showing signs that are subtle yet persistent: fatigue, disinterest in food, less interaction, or simple forgetfulness, you might be witnessing more than just ordinary aging. While we often associate death in old age with sudden events, like a heart attack or a fall, the truth is that the body typically begins its farewell slowly, quietly, and often invisibly, sometimes as early as a year before life comes to a close. These changes aren't always obvious at first. They may seem like quirks of growing older: skipped meals, longer naps, forgetfulness, or simply moving a bit slower, but when viewed as part of a bigger picture, they tell a story that many families only recognize in hindsight. Unfortunately, by the time we piece these signs together, it's often too late to prepare, to plan, or to make the most of the precious time that remains. That's why it's so important to understand these cues while there's still time to act, not out of fear, but out of love. When we recognize what the body is trying to communicate, we gain the gift of awareness. We are no longer caught off guard. Instead, we can step into our role as caregivers, companions, and family members with compassion, clarity, and grace. In this extended narrative, we'll explore 5 of the most telling signs that an elderly person may be approaching the final phase of their life. These signs aren't meant to cause alarm, but to guide you into a deeper understanding of what's happening beneath the surface. By the end, you'll not only know what to look for, but also how to respond in a way that preserves dignity, promotes comfort, and honors the human experience in one of its most sacred stages. Let's begin this journey together with open hearts and attentive minds. Among the earliest signs that a loved one may be entering their final year is unintentional weight loss, a quiet but powerful indicator that something deeper may be occurring within the body. It often begins subtly: pants that seem a little looser, shirts that hang differently, a belt that now fastens one notch tighter. These small shifts are easy to overlook or dismiss as just part of aging. After all, don't most people slim down as they get older? But there's a difference between gentle aging and the body actively letting go. This kind of weight loss happens without dieting or increased activity. It's not a healthy shedding of excess, but a concerning signal that the body is no longer absorbing nutrients as it once did. Digestive efficiency declines with age, yes, but in the final phase of life, this process accelerates. The ability to break down and utilize food properly diminishes, protein processing slows, and muscle mass begins to waste away. This not only impacts strength, but also reduces resilience. Muscle atrophy makes movement difficult and painful, increases the likelihood of falls, and weakens the immune system, leaving the individual more susceptible to infections that the body might have once easily overcome. Often, underlying medical conditions fuel this loss. Cancer, congestive heart failure, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, and kidney disease are all known to contribute to weight reduction. These conditions may not have been diagnosed yet, but their effects can quietly erode health long before more obvious symptoms appear. Emotional and mental health play a role too. Depression, grief, and even early-stage dementia can result in a decreased desire to eat. Food may lose its flavor. The effort required to cook or chew may seem overwhelming. There may also be a disconnect between hunger signals and the brain, leading to skipped meals and missed nourishment. Families often respond with well-meaning attempts to reverse the trend, offering favorite meals, adding calorie-dense snacks, or purchasing protein shakes. While these efforts come from a place of love, they don't always succeed. That's because, at this stage, the issue is no longer just about food. It's about a body preparing for its next chapter. Rather than forcing meals, the better approach may be to offer small, comforting foods that are easy to eat and digest, served in an unhurried, supportive environment. Hydration, too, becomes key, especially as solid foods become harder to consume. If your loved one is experiencing unexplained weight loss, particularly alongside other changes like reduced activity or growing frailty, take it seriously. This is not merely about appearance. It's about the body sending a message, and when we listen to that message, we can respond not with panic, but with presence. Another powerful sign that often emerges in the final year of life is a deep, persistent fatigue that sleep alone cannot fix. This is not the kind of tiredness that comes after a long walk or a late night. This is an exhaustion that seems to live in the bones, draining the will to move, to talk, or even to think. It creeps in gradually. At first, your loved one may start napping more during the day. Over time, those naps become longer and more frequent. Eventually, even getting out of bed can feel like a monumental task. Activities that were once routine, brushing teeth, getting dressed, preparing a simple meal, start to feel like burdens. This decline in energy isn't due to laziness, nor is it something that can be reversed with a good night's sleep or a brisk walk. It's the body shifting gears, conserving what little energy remains for essential functions. Organ systems begin slowing down, and circulation weakens. The heart may not pump as efficiently, reducing oxygen delivery to muscles and the brain. This leads to a sensation of heaviness, of weakness that doesn't go away. For some, fatigue manifests not just physically, but emotionally. People who were once cheerful and talkative may become quiet and withdrawn. Not because they're depressed, but because speaking itself requires more effort than they can give. They may stop engaging in hobbies, avoid social visits, or sit silently during family gatherings, not out of rudeness or sadness, but simply because their energy reserves are spent. This phase can be especially painful for family members to witness. Watching someone who once moved through the world with purpose become confined to a chair or a bed is heartbreaking. But it's important to recognize this for what it is. Not giving up, but letting go. When fatigue becomes a constant companion, the goal is not to encourage more activity but to ensure comfort. Soft bedding, gentle lighting, soothing sounds, and minimal disruptions can help create an environment that supports rest. Respecting your loved one's limits and honoring their need for stillness is one of the greatest gifts you can give during this time. If you're unsure whether the fatigue you're seeing is normal, pay attention to patterns. Is it persistent, day after day? Does rest help at all? Is your loved one weaker than they were just a few months ago? If the answers are yes, it's time to consider that what you're seeing might be part of a deeper transition. Acknowledging this can help you stop pushing and start supporting in ways that truly matter. Mental withdrawal is another common sign that a person is nearing the final stages of life, and it often arrives in tandem with physical fatigue. Your loved one may start to seem somewhere else more often, gazing off into the distance, disengaging from conversations, or responding more slowly than usual. This cognitive retreat isn't necessarily dementia, though dementia may be present as well. It can simply be the brain's way of preserving its limited resources. Just as the body slows its digestion and circulation, the mind, too, may begin to dim the lights. It might start with small, forgetful moments, misplacing objects, repeating stories, or forgetting names, and then progress into confusion about time, place, or even identity. This can be unsettling to witness. A parent who always remembered every detail of your childhood may suddenly forget your birthday. A spouse who never missed a morning coffee may seem confused about the day of the week. These moments can feel like losses, each one chipping away at the person you knew. And yet, even here, there is meaning. Cognitive changes often reflect the body's broader decline. They're not just signs of memory failure, they are indicators of a system-wide slowdown. Metabolic changes, reduced blood flow to the brain, Medications, infections, or even lack of proper nutrition can all play a role. Sometimes these changes are temporary and reversible. Other times, they mark the beginning of a deeper journey inward. Emotional changes also accompany mental shifts. Your loved one may become more irritable or withdrawn, not because they're upset, but because they lack the energy to engage. They might seem content just to sit in silence, to listen rather than speak, to observe rather than participate. Respect this stage. Be present without pressure. You don't need to fill every silence with words. Sometimes just being there, holding a hand, sitting close, playing familiar music, can bring more comfort than any conversation. And if you find yourself growing frustrated by their forgetfulness or lack of responsiveness, pause and breathe. This is not about you. It's not even about them losing who they are. It's about the soul gradually preparing to part ways with the physical world. That transition deserves reverence, not resistance. As these signs begin to appear more consistently, weight loss, fatigue, withdrawal, cognitive changes, you may start to feel the reality setting in. The person you love is nearing the end of their earthly journey. It's a sobering realization, but it doesn't have to be filled with fear. Instead, it can become an invitation to be more present, to speak more gently, to love more openly. This final stage of life is sacred. It offers us the chance to say what needs to be said, to listen without rushing, to touch without distraction. Whether your loved one has days, weeks, or months left, each moment is a thread in a final tapestry you're weaving together. And the more intentional you are, the more beautiful that tapestry can be. Don't shy away from conversations about the end. Ask what brings them peace. Find out what stories they want to share. Let them reminisce. Let them cry. Let them laugh. And above all, let them know they are not alone. In the end, we all want the same things: to be seen, to be heard, and to be loved. By recognizing these 5 signs and understanding what they mean, you're not only better equipped to support your loved one, you're honoring the essence of what it means to be human. Life doesn't stop when the decline begins. In many ways, this chapter can hold more depth, meaning, and connection than all the others combined. Let's walk it with grace, together. If this video helped you see your loved one's journey in a new light, I invite you to subscribe to our channel. Here, we explore the quiet wisdom of life's final chapters, offering comfort, clarity, and guidance to those walking beside aging parents, grandparents, and elders. Each week, we share insights rooted in compassion and respect, because no one should walk this path alone. So if you believe in honoring our elders with presence and love, click that subscribe button and join our growing community. You never know who might need this tomorrow.